All right, so here we are looking at example 4 using the inverse to solve problems. So we've got sine of cos inverse of root 3 over 2. Well, thinking in my restricted domain, cosine is going to be root 3 over 2. I'm thinking about my long angle, and it's positive for cosine. So long side, that's the short angle, that's pi over 6. And then sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. Cos of tan inverse of -1. Well, for my tangent graph, I'm thinking the negative value down here. So that's going to be cosine of negative pi over 4. Cosine of negative pi over 4 is this positive x value. That's root 2 over 2. Secant of sine inverse of 1/2. All right, sine being positive 1/2, that's again short angle. So that's going to give me pi over 6. Secant is 1 over cosine. Cosine of pi over 6 is root 3 over 2. So when I do the reciprocal of that, I get 2 over root 3. Sine of tan inverse of 1/2. Well, tan inverse of 1/2 is not one that I know, but I know that tan being 1/2, my ratio is going to be somewhere over here, and I'm going to have 1 over 2. That's going to give me root 5 for there. So then whatever angle that is, I don't know the exact angle, but I know the sine value for this picture is going to be 1 over root 5. Yeah, this one's a tricky one to think about. This is really giving me this angle. I don't actually need to know what the angle is to find the sine value. This next one is very similar. Cos inverse of 1/3. Well, I know that cosine is going to be positive 1/3 over here, and that I'll have a 1 and a 3 up here, so my picture isn't very accurate. My short side is going to be root 8, which is not actually short, so let's make a better picture. All right, so cosine of 1/3 looks more like this, 1, 3, root 8. So then the tan value of that is going to be root 8 over 1, which is just root 8. All right, so F and G. F, sine inverse of -1/3. Well, that's telling me what quadrant I'm in. I know that sine inverse, so we've got cosine of sine inverse of -1/3. So sine is going to be negative down in quadrant 4. So -1 and then hypotenuse of 3. That's now going to tell me this side is root 8. The cosine of that, root 8 over 3. Tan of cos inverse of -1/3. Well, cosine now being negative is going to be over here. So short side 1, hypotenuse 3, -1, 3. Root 8 is positive. The tan value of that, opposite over adjacent, root 8 over -1, which is just negative root 8.